Hi, guys. Welcome to the Elation Podcast. Today we are here speaking with Red. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good, good. Lindsay or Red, what have you adapted to Red as the...
Yes, Red's my artist name.
Red is the artist name. Obviously we have red hair, but was that the only reason why you decided to call yourself Red, or was there another reason?
That was like my childhood nickname.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I got you. So where are you from?
I'm actually from here. I'm from Metairie, Louisiana, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
My wife went to Mount Carmel. Good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I know a lot of girls that graduated from Mount Carmel. I think it's one of the better schools around.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
Did they give you any inspiration going through grade school, high school to do music? Did they help in that journey at all?
I would say no.
No?
Definitely not.
Really?
Yeah.
Not artistic school, huh?
It has its artistic moments, but it was mostly a college prep school, so it was very books. Books.
That makes more sense about my wife now. Because I feel like New Orleans schools normally have somewhat of an art program, no matter what, because art's very important in New Orleans. So like in grade school, I played the bells, the big Christmas bells and stuff. So it was like that's like almost my first little introduction to music. But so where did you go to college?
I go to LSU right now.
You go to LSU right now?
I have one more year left.
And you're going for?
Just business, but I think I'm going to get a minor in marketing.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, marketing, I say it all the time, marketing is something that helps translate to, if you're going to do music, but anything else you want to do. Because you can market a product, you can market yourself, you can market a brand, whatever it may be. It's a good thing to go to college for.
Definitely. With the songwriting and stuff.
Yeah.
And like making myself an image, like a figure. It's very important.
Absolutely. What's your favorite instrument?
I would say guitar, but I just recently got a bass, so bass. I think it's really cool.
I heard ukulele is a part of your story.
It is.
Tell us about that.
That was like my origin story, my gateway instrument. So the Christmas right before COVID, my uncle got me a ukulele because I told him, no more getting me gift cards for my things. I want like something personal that I can keep.
Right.
But I really appreciate the gift cards. They always help me out.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I know what you mean.
Yeah. So he got me a ukulele and he thought it was funny, like I wouldn't play it. And then the next year for Christmas, I like played a little something. I was also super shy. I never sang in front of anyone until the next year at Christmas. I was like, I might as well show him what I can do. And then I sang for him and he was like, wow, you need to get a guitar. So he got me a guitar.
Awesome.
Like a couple weeks later.
What song was it? Did you write one or did you sing?
They were just
else's?
covers at that point. I was doing like Riptide.
Okay.
And like Home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's got to start from somewhere, and ukulele can be an inspirational.
Definitely.
Instrument. I just actually the most famous ukulele song, the Over the Rainbow song. I don't know if you know the story, but it's I guess it was, I don't know, early 70s or something. The guy who owned the studio got a call at like 3 o'clock in the morning and said, hey, I need to get in the studio to record this song. And he hadn't been able to find a spot to record. And he went and opened the studio up at 3 a.m. and he's like, man, he's a local guy. I don't even want to charge him. Like, I'm just going to get you in, let you do your thing. And it ended up being Over the Rainbow, you know? So it's like one of those things in music where you have to pay attention to those moments because, any little inspiration could create something that is worldwide and heartfelt.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So guitar-wise, when did you start playing the guitar then?
So about 3 years ago, I'd say. Yeah, that's when I started getting into songwriting. Yeah.
Do you use that as your outlet for how you write your songs?
Definitely. So at first when I started songwriting, I just knew basic chords, but you could be surprised by how much you can write with just basic chords. Got into that, and then I started doing a little bit more production, like finding stems of guitar playing, seeing how I could build something by myself, which is tricky, but it was very, very fun.
What program are you using?
So to make like beats, I would use just like Studio One or BandLab, whatever DAW I could find. And then, I'll usually bring it somewhere else to get it done. Yeah.
So you're working on your demos right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have, what's the single coming out? It's called Delusional, right?
Yes. So that's my first feature with Alexis.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's been the most gratifying part of putting these demos out? Have you found it as an outlet to say things that you want to say, or are you just having fun with it?
Definitely. So I've been switching my genre a little bit more towards R&B because I feel like I'm a very rhythmic singer, not as much melody, like melodic. And I feel like it's a lot easier even on stage to like perform because I don't have to make this big show. I can just stand there and like with my eyes and my gestures tell a story.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. That makes sense. Yeah, because pop music is very in your face, very bright and exuberant, and R&B can be very intimate and slow and one-to-one, connection, if that makes sense. So yeah, I get that. That's cool. And I could see that for you, actually. That's a great lane for you.
Thank you.
But yeah, because I like your style. I mean, I think you're very original, and I can't wait to hear the project.
Thank you.
What's the name of the band?
Red's Ray.
Red's Ray Band.
Yes.
Who's in the band with you?
So we have Keith on bass, Jake on drums, Colin on guitar, and then we have Blaze, who is our new keyboard player. We just got him like 2 weeks ago, which is essential for the R&B stuff.
Band dynamics. That's got to be new, right?
It is new. We all started as good friends, like just jamming together, and then we eventually developed something, but it definitely is tricky, making sure everyone's happy, but still the main goal is being accomplished.
Right. Does everybody else help write songs, or are you just kind of doing it on your own?
So at first, it was just like my songs we further developed because I didn't know every instrument. So like the drums, the bass, I didn't know how to write bass lines or anything.
Right.
So first, it was just me, but now we've started getting into the groove, writing originals, and they will just come up with these amazing, like, complex pieces that I really like them. Yeah. Awesome.
It's good having good, band members around that know you and kind of know where you want to go, too, in your music.
Exactly.
It all kind of flows with... if they know where your vocal range is and where you want to sit and how you want to sing, they're going to stay in that lane.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. What gigs have you played so far?
So our first gig was at House of Blues, but we weren't officially Red's Ray yet. That was more of just a music group thing. But officially as Red's Ray, we played at Carrollton Station, and then Howling Wolf. We opened for this band, Few Below.
I got you.
So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you see the stage? How is it? Because I know you said you were shy before. So.
Oh, I am still so shy.
So the stage has got to be scary.
It is very, very scary. The best way I deal with that is I don't.
Do you picture everybody naked?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes. I'm kidding. No, I usually will look out in the crowd and just not make any eye contact, look in the back of the walls near their head so people think I'm making a connection. But
gotcha.
Once I look someone dead in the eyes, I'm like, oh, that was intimate.
It makes you feel almost too much. Huh?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that was a moment there.
I'm not singing to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Because I know a lot of artists, they either do that where they kind of just overlook the crowd, or they find one person in the crowd and they just continually look at that.
Yeah.
Like they keep it's like their point person.
Yeah.
I know a lot of artists will find someone who the most animated one in the crowd that knows every word of the song.
Yeah.
And they just attach themselves, and every time they need a little energy, they just go right back to that moment,
Yeah, sometimes we'll have that. We go to the open jams every weekend or every Wednesday at Brickyard, and usually it's a really cool crowd, and sometimes we'll have people come to the front, really be feeling it, and that's when I don't mind looking them in the eyes and
right.
Because we're on the same level.
Right, it's an experience. Yeah, they're enjoying it, you're enjoying their energy, it's back and forth.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Where would you like to perform if you were to have your pick right now, in New Orleans or anywhere else? If you were to pick a venue that you were I'm dreaming for this.
Probably House of Blues again.
Yeah.
Just because now that we're at the R&B level, because at first we started with like pop rockish.
Right.
But it didn't feel like me.
Right.
So probably House of Blues, just because I feel like our genre will do really good there. We could have our energy be like vibey and not have to worry about putting on a show that we're not, you know?
Right, 100%. No, and House of Blues is great for that because there's been so many bands that have broken out of the House of Blues just because, you know, it's every different genre. I mean, if you go back there and you see the walls, all the signatures, it's everybody, you know, from Snoop to Frank Sinatra, you know, like every genre.
Yeah.
So it's a great door opener, you know, and it's a great venue. Do you see, in your lane, do you see somebody that you are kind of inspired by or would pick that, you know, I guess sounds similar to the style that you're pushing for?
Probably Ravina. She does a lot of the Tiny Desks, NPR stuff.
Gotcha.
Definitely her, or like Jessie Reyez and SZA are also two big inspirations. They are more on the pop side, but I really noticed that my favorite songs from them are like the raw acoustic band, super simple songs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's great. And there's definitely a big wave right now of kind of R&B females.
Yeah.
So it's great. I think it's great. Well, we talked about calming your nerves a little bit, but do you do anything before a show, like to kind of warm yourself up or to get yourself that dust off of you to be able to perform?
Typically, not really. I'll like just pace around and then I'll usually wait for the boys to get set up completely because I hate when I stand on the stage and like I have to wait for them to like get their levels right and I'm just standing there awkwardly. But yeah, normally it's just like I just pretend I'm not performing until it's my turn to go on stage and I'm like, oh.
And just throw yourself in the deep end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just see what happens.
Exactly.
I got you. What I know you were here for the writing camps that we did for a couple of the camps. Tell us a little bit about that experience. How did you enjoy it?
That was awesome. It opened my eyes to actually a lot. It was one of the main reasons I switched to R&B. I realized like how different everyone is and like how I could use my voice in different genres because there were a lot of like rappers there and I was hearing some of their stuff with like their hooks with female vocalists on it and I was like this sounds like something I could definitely do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So inspired by other songwriters to
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it was just the most impactful because it wasn't just a bunch of like girls like me. Like it was a wide variety of people that I could learn stuff from, which was really, really beneficial. That's
awesome. And it those moments are very collaborative and they should open you up as an artist. You know, because everybody's has the same goal in mind, which is to create amazing music. You know, so those camps can be very beneficial.
Yeah.
So I know they said they kind of trained your sound a little bit or it kind of helped you inspire for that. Did you feel like you learned about a process for music or did you learn how things are done in those camps, like how fast music can be made?
I was so shocked when I saw the board of all the songs y'all got done. I didn't sign up initially. Alexis just texted me, you can come, sit, and look around, whatever.
Right.
So I wasn't hands-on on any projects, but I was, like Mia would invite me to come in the room. I think it's just wild how our brains collectively working together, how much we can accomplish.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy seeing like just vibes being put on a track and just random and however you feel at the moment, you know?
That's one thing. Mia was outside in the parking lot. She saw a light and she was like, I'm blindsided by that light. Oh, and then they wrote a song in literally like less than an hour called Blindsided.
Right.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's funny. Inspiration can come from all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So, we enjoyed having you, and we want you to come to the next one as well.
Definitely.
What female bands do you look up to?
So, I don't have any particular female bands that I look up to. It's more of individual artists. Unless Ravina is probably my main inspiration when it comes to a band setting. But same thing, like my artists that I like, I notice that my favorite tracks are raw, just band, like no produced. Like, you can hear the real instruments,
right.
you know?
Well, you know, because you kind of remind me of Sheryl Crow, to be honest with you. So, now I know that's not R&B, but she's crossover in her own way because she's not country, she's not pop, she's not rock. She's kind of her own vibe. Yeah. If that makes sense. So you kind of remind me of like a young Sheryl Crow.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's a nice compliment.
Absolutely. I know we don't want to talk about any dates or anything like that for your project because you're still getting ready to really record and get down the demos. But let's say, what would be the right timing for you to put out this project, you think? Summer, spring, fall? Like, what's the emotion in it?
Oh, probably fall or winter.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. We definitely need more time to develop it. But, yeah, I haven't really thought about what season.
So it's going to be a lot of stories and feelings then, if it's fall.
Probably winter, yeah, because like one of our songs is called Ice.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a lot of the time when we write a song, we'll usually like, just spit out like a landscape or something going on. Like, you're in the mountains and you're stuck there and it's freezing and you have no blankets or fire. And then that's how we came up with Ice. Right. So, yeah, definitely fall or winter.
Yeah, because, you got to fit the moment. You can't put out a winter track in the summertime. Yeah. It's not going to work out, You got to get everybody's attention the way it needs to. And, their emotions need to connect to it.
Yeah, that's I never even thought about that. That's really good to think about.
So let's talk about, I like to ask everybody, what brings elation to you in your life? Because I know music is obviously one of them, but what truly brings you happiness?
Well, I'm just going to start off by saying my dog. He brings me the most happiness ever.
What's your name of your dog? What
Rosco.
kind of dog is he? Rosco.
He is a dumpster dog. We found him as a baby in a dumpster. I think he's mixed with like a black-mouthed cur, but he's just a small, like 50 pounds, super cute. I love him.
That's awesome.
That's one thing. Another thing would be recently photography, especially with music, like capturing people playing. I don't know why, it just brings me so much joy, more than any other like type of photography.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you just decided to pick up photography just randomly, or?
Yeah, well, I started going to all these concerts to network with people, and I was like, they don't have a photographer. This would be such a cool picture. So I just started bringing my camera and doing it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, it'll help you, too, how you should look at yourself being in an image, you know what I mean? So if you're looking at all these artists and how they look, you can portray how you want to look in that camera light, because you're going to get the angles. So, well, that's awesome. Well, great. Well, tell us a little bit about your socials and where we can find your music.
So my Instagram is lindsay.battags. That's lindsey.battags. I need to get an actual artist profile now that I think about that. My band's Instagram is Reds Ray Band. Definitely follow us, and on TikTok. And yeah, our music is going to be released, me and Alexis's single Delusional, on soon. And
no dates.
Definitely soon.
No dates.
So yeah, you can find my music on there when it is released.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, thanks for joining us today. It was great talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Nice to get to know you. Thank you for joining us on Elation's podcast, where we find exhilarating euphoria through creation and collaboration.